Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing a reaction video on my top 100 ping pong shots. So I put a lot of time and effort into this, so I figured the one video wasn't enough. I also wanted to kind of explain some of the shots, and not only that, but maybe give you some things you never even notice in the shot. So let's start the video up. Yep, I come out on my bike, standing up on top of my bike. And then just the normal intro. Alright, so getting into my shots. Number 100. That 100 shot, I was just blow drying the ball in between these books, and it was one of the few shots I ever got on the first try, because there was literally no way to miss it. I don't know how it would have been possible to miss that shot. And I'll also, in a lot of these first top 10 shots, I'm just hitting balls in the boxes, which is really not that hard. This one here where I'm hitting the ball over the board in the box. Not that challenging, you could get in 5 tries. Knocking down the camera was a little harder. That one I was all the way back at the back of the basement, so it was a little hard. Now this one is one that I really need to explain because my camera didn't pick it up very well. The reason the ball is so hard to see, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a bouncy ball. It's so small. And I hit it up in the air. It hits off the table, I kind of got in the way there, and went into the trash can in the back. Number 88's really not that good. It was just a behind the back shot, but I did it really fast. Alright, this one right here. Number 85. This one's a little confusing. And the sanitizer head on the bottle is sticking right over top of a cup that has a ping pong ball inside of it. I hit this huge ball on top of the brush, on top of the sanitizer, and you'll see the sanitizer spits out this little bit of liquid out of it. And so I called that the COVID shot because we were sanitizing the ping pong ball in a trick shot. Number 84, that one was totally accidental. I wasn't trying to do that one at all. 84, I hit this ball off the top of it was right off the back edge of the table, and then it kind of hit off the trash can into the camera and into the trash can. It was actually way more impressive than it probably looked in that video, but I don't have any more clips of that, so. That one's just hitting the ball up into the air into the Sprite can. This one, number 82, I hit the ball out of the screen. There was actually a board on the ground that I hit it off of. The board was outside of the screenshot, so you couldn't see it. So it just looked like the ball came back out of nowhere, but it actually just hit off the board that was off the camera screen, and it went into that box. This one, I just had a paper in front of a cup. I actually wanted to the ball would tear right through the paper, but I probably should have taped it a little stronger near the bottom, but when I hit it, it just went under the paper and kind of just creased it. It didn't tear through it. That one's just around the net, hitting the cup over. Number 79, yeah, you're gonna have to sit here for a while, as I'm just basically hitting all these balls into there. It's really hard, actually, because those paddles, those balls aren't the easiest thing to hit. You're so used to hitting little weightless ping pong balls with that paddle. Like when you're hitting those basketballs, it's like, whoa, way too much weight on this paddle. But just to give you a heads up, those balls were a bit flat. So you'll see a lot of shots that like just kind of barely bounce off the rim and just go in. Like they bounce around the rim and then go in. You'll notice that they're not bouncing very much. If I just hit the ball off the backboard, they'll go in every time. So I was just aiming for the backboard, and even if I got a little short, I'd probably get a lucky bounce with how flat those balls were. Anyway. $104. Yeah, that's a pretty good score, but if I did it with more blown up balls, it would have been harder. 78. Very hard to understand here, but I'm going to try and explain it to you. This is one of those shots where you probably have no clue what's happening. Well, anyway, I hit off this board, it goes off the cup, and you're like, that's a dumb shot because it went off the cup, you didn't make it. But the ball actually went off the cup down into that banana box. That's just 3 shots in a row in the trash can. Hard to hit in that small lid on the trash can multiple times in a row than you think. That's just hitting the cup over. I did want to hit into the box behind it, but it didn't work out. So I kept it anyway. And then 75, hitting 3 cups off the table. Very hard to do. I had to put 3 balls in my hand at one time. That's just throwing one ball up into the air and then hitting it with another. You have to do it pretty fast though. $73, I believe this is my 5 around the net shot. Alright, this one, 72. This is actually a pretty cool shot. Because I got this 30-pound dumbbell on top of the ping pong table. And I got a cup right behind it. But I actually hit this ball right. It barely fit underneath. And I wasn't trying to knock over the camera with that race car. Goes down the ramp. It was actually a pretty cool setup. It went down that one plank from the table. Knocked over my camera, which was sitting on the floor. Okay, this one might be slightly confusing. I had 3 helmets, and they were all lined up in a row. So they were all in front of each other. So I hit the first one off the table first, and then I got 2 more. But instead of hitting the second one, I hit the third one off the table, which was really hard because the second one was right in front of it. 68. And the ball I just hit against the box, goes right. You can see it bouncing in the background. You're like, there's no way that ball ends up going into the cup. Well, it didn't. But I had another ping pong ball that was sitting on top of the board. I'll zoom in for you here. So when I hit the box with the other ping pong ball, it knocked that ping pong ball off the top of the board, rolled in between these books, and rolled into the 64-ounce cup there. This one I just hit 2 cups stuck together into the box. That one I hit really far away to get into the hoop. This one, 65, I really enjoyed doing this one. 65, I was really happy I got this done because I just had a coin standing upright on the floor, and I just curved the ball into it, and it spun it right around. 64, I used a Nerf gun. I was barely able to get this rope hooked up to the ceiling, and then I shot a ping pong ball off the rope. 63, honestly, I have to say, that one might be the one I went way too overboard with the celebration. It's at 63. I probably shouldn't have celebrated that much with it. But anyway, this 62, I hit it off the board, bounced a few times, and went through the painter's tape. 61, I had a little wooden block sitting in front of a race car. And as soon as I hit that block with a ping pong ball, which was not easy because it is made out of wood and my ping pong ball is made out of plastic. So as you can imagine, my ping pong balls now have many a scratch on them. And during shots like this one, yes, I have lost ping pong balls. They have cracked, they have broken, and I can tell you, I have to buy ping pong balls more than I would have to if I was just playing regular ping pong instead of doing these crazy shots. But anyway, Trick Shot Volley is the name of this trick shot. It's on my channel. You can look at it without the music in the background. But anyway, so I hit that. This one, I did the very first hit was a behind the back hit. I hit behind my back to Joseph on the other side. Then he went under his leg, I went under my leg, and then we gradually started working to the side of the table. And then I actually hit it around the net to end the trick shot volley. I hit it around the net. You can't really tell it went around the net. He threw the frisbee, and I hit the ping pong ball onto the frisbee in midair, but they threw the frisbee upside down, and while they threw it in midair, I hit a ping pong ball on top of the frisbee. 57 here. This was an accidental make. You will see later in this video what I was actually trying to accomplish with this shot. Anyway, I was trying to hit in that hole on the reindeer, but anyway, I hit it past, and then you can feel the camera kind of shake a bit. That's because I had the camera propped up with my 64-ounce cup behind it. But I accidentally, when I hit that ball, it accidentally went into the 64-ounce cup that was propping up the camera. So I actually go over here and then pick the camera up so you can see I hit the ball. And you see there that the ball is in there and there's a plastic bag under it. This is something I need to tell you I do in some of my videos. With the cups, like 64-ounce cup or something, it's plastic. If you hit a ball in there, it most likely gonna bounce out of that 64-ounce cup. So I usually just stuff a plastic bag at the bottom of it so it doesn't bounce out when I hit it in, because if I try to hit it in with just the plastic, or sometimes you'll see me put water in the cup, that softens the bounce. You'll see other people who do that with their trick shots, like Dude Perfect. They'll put water in the cup so the ball doesn't bounce back out. 56, this can go on for a while. I had this video a while back, and when you got 100 ping pong shots, you can't be too fine with your editing because you're going to be taking days to do it. I'm telling you, the editing for these 100 ping pong shot videos, it's a nightmare. So, in case you haven't noticed, in my newer ping pong shots, I only use the orange ping pong balls. I used to use white ping pong balls, but I do most of my shots in my basement, and the bricks are white, so the ping pong ball blends in with the bricks, and it's harder to see it stand out. So now I use orange so you can keep track of the ball better. 54 is very similar, so I just put it next to it. But 54 was a harder shot than 55. But 55, I kept myself covered a little more. 53 was a pretty clever shot that I was happy I came up with. We have two tables. One was lower to the ground than the other. So there's a bit of a crack in between the two tables, and then near the end I just nonchalantly just hit the ball right in between that crack to that box down on the ground. So it went through that crack and down into the box, and I assume you would have never seen that coming. Okay, 52. I have to say it was not the most comfortable shot I've ever done in my life. As you may see, I have this weird object in my mouth, and I had to tilt my head back. That was the hard part about it, because a lot of times when I go to catch it, my head was too far forward, so the ball would come right back out. The name of this is 3 in a row under the leg around the net shots. One of my longer titles for a trick shot. There's these two cups standing up. I hit that ping pong ball at the one cup, and then very quickly. I mean, you wouldn't even notice it, but it ricochets into the cup right beside it. So it kind of hit the side of the cup, knocked it over, and bounced right over really quickly to the other cup and knocked it over. We did 2 trust shots, and we had to make it easier than just knocking the ping pong ball off the guy's head, because that's just boring. So you need to add extra to it. So Joseph decided to do a behind the back, hit the cup off my head. But then here at the end, I always thought there was a funny part. I picked up the ping pong ball, threw it behind my back into the screen, and then Joseph does this awkward thumbs up to the camera, and he said, "See ya," and he held it out like that. But I slowed down the video, so he was saying "see ya" for a really long time. I'm telling you one thing. If you want to do ping pong shots, or any kind of shots really, with dominoes, it's not going to be easy for you, because I'm telling you, setting up those dominoes, if you even accidentally knock over one, down go the others. When one goes down, the rest of them go down. If I hit the ball to Joseph, who's sitting on a chair, and I've only got so much room to maneuver with Joseph on that chair. Anyway, then I gotta drop the paddle on the table and open up my pocket about as quick as I can, because we are hitting that ball pretty hard. This our camera view of it cuts Joseph out, so it's a good thing I got 2 shots of it. I hit it into the stack of books. There wasn't a huge opening at the end of them where I was hitting, and the blow dryer blew it in. And then this next one here, 45, that was a nightmare setup. We set that thing up, and the ball goes perfectly down that. And to keep that thing straight, we had to tape it to some of those boxes you see in the picture, and also for propping it up. We used 3 boxes. That one I hit in my dump truck. I just put the back of it up, so when I hit the ball into it, it would just go right down. For a good bit of my shots, I have been using 2 views shots, but recently, like with my train video and some other ones, I haven't really been using 2 cameras. I've only been using my phone for my camera, so it just rolls down into the bed of the Hesh truck. And it actually bounced off the one book, went inside, it just bounced basically off the table into the cup. Hit this very small Pepsi cap off of the painter's tape. I mean, that's really small target. I hit it off the board. That one took a while. 36, I just hit in the painter's tape. 35, Joseph had to put a lot of mustard on that ping pong ball, because if you ever try, you may think ping pong balls will go a long way if you put all your strength into hitting one, but I'm telling you, ping pong balls do not travel far. And then I was roller skating, and I pulled my leg up, put the cup underneath my leg. So I was skating on one leg, and I caught it underneath my leg, the under the leg catch, and there's a better view of it right there. 34 under the leg. That one took a while, hit the cups into the box. This one, I actually, if you see that 64-ounce cup on the ground, well, this plastic cup on the table, I was trying to hit it under my leg, off that board on the left side of the screen. Off the board, hits the plastic cup on the table, down off the table into the 64-ounce cup. I got really close on this shot, but I just come across the screen under the leg. Next thing you know, no more Lone Ranger. As you see, I am hitting 2 white ping pong balls. I hit them against the board, and then the one goes into the 64-ounce cup, and the other lands on my paddle. So I caught both of them. Not easy to hit 2 balls and then catch both. This one I had to put a lot of curve on, because I had the side, I had the board set up on the side of my ping pong table, and then it goes off the board and then bounces a few times till it goes in the 64-ounce cup. This one, I know it looks like a ridiculous motion I'm making, but I actually had to put a ton of spin on this because that holder that I've got over there that I keep my ping pong pals in, I put that right about beside the net. So you have to put a crazy spin on this thing to get it to go there. Because if you ever try, it is not easy. This one was actually pretty hilarious. Because we had tried for a while to get this shot we couldn't get. And then we went up for dinner. Literally, not kidding you. The first shot when we got back downstairs from dinner, bang, first shot hit the fidget spinner. 26. I had to put a crazy amount of backspin on this one. And this one, 25. I can guarantee you did not notice something about this shot. So anyway, I've got a plastic cup, and inside that cup is a ping pong ball. I hit that cup in the midair. I hit the ping pong ball like right before I hit the cup, because obviously the ping pong ball is going to come down before the cup is, because ping pong balls are really light, but they are heavier than plastic cups. 24, I had to put a lot of side spin on it because it's about clean over on the other side of the table. Yeah, that took a long time. 25, not the flashiest shot. You're like, wait a minute, he just hit that into a cup. Why is this number 23? Well, it's number 23 because I couldn't see the cup. I didn't have a mirror, I didn't have my phone, I didn't have anything to see that cup. 22, if you've seen the video with this shot in it, then you know how long this took, because there were like a few times where I was like that close. 22. This is one that's one of my favorites. This is a shot that is not easy to notice everything going on in it in just like the 5 seconds that it lasts. Anyway, I have a plastic bag hooked into the pole so I can hold the ball in place, and then I'm going to hit the plastic bag and it's going to release the ball into the cup. That was what I was thinking. Didn't work out that way. This happened 2 or 3 times. I hit the plastic bag, but not only the plastic bag went down with it, but so did the ball. If you see right there, I have an orange ball and a white ball. I put an extra ball behind the first ball. So, as usual, when I went to hit the plastic bag, the first ball fell off, but the second ball did not, and it rolled down into the cup. And I actually have a box down there, and it hit off the box and went in the cup. I hit 2 balls, and I'm telling you, when you're hitting 2 ping pong balls, you can't control where they're going. You have no idea where they're going. So the fact that I have 2 plastic cups sitting up, and I hit 2 balls at once, and each ball hits one of the cups. I hit the ping pong ball off that board that's propped up by the toolbox, and there's a balloon on the ceiling that the string is connected to a plastic cup. And I hit that ping pong ball off the board, it goes up in the air, goes in the plastic cup. I'm on roller skates. I am roller skating, trying to beat this ball down the ramp to the end of the table so I can get there, hit it up in the air, smack those 3 cups down. Well, anyway, when I go down there, you can see there's this board next to the cabinet while I'm roller skating in the path. And I actually hit that board over, and it almost fell down. But then it's like that close. Look how close that is to falling. And then it stayed up. So that's probably something you might not have noticed. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but that board was so close to falling down. It's a good thing it didn't, because we use that for my train table. 17. This one is one of those ones where you're like, what has happened? Because it is hard to tell what happened here. So there are 3 cups stacked up on each other on the table. Joseph throws me the ball. Now, there's this ping pong ball. It's white. If it was orange, you could see it a lot clearer because it blends right in with those cups below it. So you probably just thought it was part of the cup. I hit the top cup the one the ping pong ball's sitting on, which releases the ping pong ball on top of it, and the ping pong ball drops into the cup right below the top cup. So that was actually a really good shot. I could probably do it again so you could see it a little better, honestly, because that wasn't the best view of it. 16, this is the one you saw earlier where I accidentally made it into the 64-ounce cup that was propping up the camera. I was trying to hit through that hole in the reindeer, and that reindeer actually, that hole is intended so you can put that on a doorknob. You can see the top of a ping pong ball in front of a plastic cup in front of a 64-ounce cup. That race car goes down the ramp, smokes that ball into the cup, in the plastic cup, and smokes that plastic cup into the 64-ounce cups. That's how fast that race car was going. This was when there was ice outside. It was really slick, so the ball, it's pretty neat what a ping pong ball can do on ice. When it spins, like, you can hear it against the ice, and it spins really hard, but I have to say I did crack 2 balls that day. And then I jump in to make a cool screenshot. There's 2 plastic cups on the back of the rim, on both rims. And this was continuously. This was unedited. This really happened. I promise you that. I didn't just hit one down and then hit another one down later and just put it together. You can tell that is unedited right there. I hit the cup, it goes down the hoop. And then I hit the other cup down the hoop. You'd be surprised how good your aim gets after you've done some of these trick shots. Number 11, I really like this one. Alright, I'm coming on the screen from the side, and I've got a ping pong ball sitting on the table, and I have a plastic cup with me. Instead of the usual hit the ball in the cup, I hit the cup on top of the ball. This one goes down the ramp, under the leg, hits the cup off. Here's another view of it. This view is way better than the other one. Under the leg, I got 2 cups stacked on top of each other. The cups over into the box behind it. And then this one took a really long time. Like, this one I did not think was actually going to take that long. It's just a water ball flip off a table. It can't be that hard. Wrong. You try and get the right amount of water in that cup, plus, even when you got the exact right amount for flipping it, you are using a plastic ping pong ball to hit over. So I had to put a lot of curve on that shot, and that wasn't the easiest thing ever. Okay, this one was really challenging. I've got 2 race cars on the table. Very small boxes. I needed them. Here's what was hard. I needed them light enough to be able to hit with the ping pong ball, but I needed them heavy enough to stop the race car from moving. Back in the snow. This was taken the same day as the other trick shot I did in the snow, and I just hit this ball way up in the air. Hit it, literally, this was as far as I could hit the ball. I hit as far as I could, and it still landed a little short of the cup, but rolled and hit the cup down. It kind of bounced it. This one it ended up way cooler than I thought, because I've got 3 cups stacked up, and I'm trying to hit the middle cup, so the top cup will fall in the bottom cup. I just expect I'd hit the middle cup out, and the top cup would fall right in the bottom cup. No, I hit the middle cup, and the top cup does like a full flip right into the bottom cup. This one was one of those accidental, amazing shots. Like, I was trying to do it under my leg into the 64-ounce cup. I was trying to hit where I pulled my leg far enough above the table that I could just hit the ball under my leg without the ball bouncing on the ground, but didn't work out that way. It bounced it pretty far back on the ground. I just made a desperation shot at it. Under my leg, I'm falling off the screen, basically. I was falling back, and I somehow hit off the board into the cup. And when I came back, right there, That is the most classic picture I have from any of my trick shots. I think that is hilarious. Number 3, Joseph's controlling the race car, and I taped a cup to the top of it, and it is really hard to hit a ball into a moving object. Number 2, this is the one that took 3 days to do it. So you see these cups I've got lined up. I've got 5 cups on the table. Those first 4 ones in the front, those are just so I have to curve the ball. The first ball I hit is the one I'm curving around the cups. While it's curving around the cups, I have to hit this cup that's taped to the edge of the table. I have to hit it down so that first ball I hit curved will go into the cup, because it's not going to have anywhere to go into if I don't hit that cup down. So with the second ball, I hit the cup down, and the first ball you saw me hit goes into the cup. Number 1. This one is just a lot going on at one time. I roll it down the ramp, dominoes go over, it hits this other ball down the ramp, which hits those dominoes on the boxes, which releases another ping pong ball. But this one, I have to use the blow dryer to get it to go up that steep hill. This is a 14-minute video, and I ran you through talking about the whole thing. So I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below, like and subscribe and all that other stuff.